Hey guys, it's Huntin for Games. I've been really enjoying Black Desert Online, and one of its best features is its depth and all the interconnected systems that make it up. These systems can be super confusing at first, at least for simple folk like myself. So I thought I'd put together some quick guides for systems as I get the hang of what's going on with them and figure them out. This is also a shameless attempt to try and get my friends to play by making the game more approachable to my buddies that are still on the fence about playing. Come on guys, get in the game, it's in the game. Alright, so today's topic is workers, and they've got tons of benefits. They continue performing stuff while you're offline, collecting, or continuing your progress. They don't use up your energy directly, allowing for more efficient use of your own resources. Plus, they've got that whole, like, George Foreman set it and forget it style of resource collection, which is just fantastic. Was it George Foreman? Was that it? Am I even allowed to say that? Am I allowed to say George Foreman? So step one, how do we obtain workers? Workers are obtained from these handy-dandy little worker distributors, NPCs, in each town. There are giant, human, and goblin-style workers, each with their own benefits. Giants work slower, but they have more stamina and can carry more. Goblins are fastest, but they can't carry as much. Humans are kind of a mixture of both. They have their own little tiny benefits aside from that as well. Each has its own benefits and downsides. It really depends on what you're trying to do with them. Aren't you just kind of managing this weird little resource collection mini game? I'm like, yeah, but it feels like so much more than that because you go on the map and you see the little workers like talking to the worker distributor dude will show you a randomly generated worker with its own stats in gray or green or blue or yellow, or I think orange is the highest tier. I have no idea because I've never seen one. Ranking, kind of like gear. The higher the rank, the more they're going to cost, literally in money, but the better overall they'll be. And then you go to the where they are in the actual game and you see them. There they are. They're doing shit. It's not always the right shit. I swear the guy was supposed to be chopping down trees and he's sitting there like a pile of grass. He's like, I've got it, boss. Chopping down trees. I'm like, dude, that's wheat. You're an idiot. But he gives me the right stuff, so maybe he knows something I don't. If you don't like the worker that was shown to you randomly, you can request to view another, but each attempt is going to cost you 5 energy. It's very high cost early on when you have like 30 total energy, and it's suggested as one of the better uses of your alternate characters early on is to just hammer through these randomly generated workers until you get one you like. Just make sure if you're using an alt that you have enough money on the alt to pay the worker if you happen to stumble across a good one. I made this mistake. I finally got like an awesome blue, and I realized I hadn't transferred enough money for a blue, which the green ones are 3,500 silver and the blues are 10,000 silver. I can't remember how much the grays are because I ignored them, and anything above that I never saw. But supposedly the yellows are awesome, and then orange, I guess, is just like the most amazing worker you've ever hired in the history of Black Desert. Point is, make sure you got money on you. They're just while I do all the cool shit like murder and monsters. They're chopping down trees. I can do it with them if I want. I can go see them do it. I watch them do it. Your first worker doesn't require any additional lodging in town, but for any more than that, you'll need to unlock lodging from property on the housing plots that you get. Okay, so now we have a worker. How do we get him to do stuff? This is where I got really confused in my own game. You'll need to unlock a connecting path of nodes from the town your worker's in to whichever resource you want them to work on. And I'm like, stabbing things. Think of your linked nodes as the only road that your workers know about. They don't know about any of the other roads. They only know about shit that you've connected. They're useless without it. Say you want to have your workers farm potatoes in a neighboring farm next to, I think it's Velia, which is the first city you end up in. You have to unlock the farm node, and here's where I totally lost it. To link it to Velia, and I was like, okay, great. Then you have to unlock the potato resource, which is another investment of contribution points as well. It's like a separate node. All right. To invest in these nodes, you have to speak to the actual node manager at the farm itself. I don't think you can do it from the map. And once you've done that, once you've invested in the actual potato resource that you want to farm, whatever resource, on that node, you'll see the option to send workers to harvest the resource from the node manager. Potatoes. Anyways, send them away and off they go. My one giant's kind of like the dumb giant. The other guy's like an overachiever. If instead of gathering resources, you want them to process them for you, you can open up, say you're like a refining, you can open up the refinery and click on the process management button. Basically works the same. They start doing that instead. I haven't gotten too in-depth into the processing aspect, but I think it's going to be super crucial later on when you're making more complex things like a boat. But all this rigorous activity makes your workers ravenous. You'll need to feed the poor bastards. Beer sounds like it's the most common from a stamina restored per cost of the beer standpoint, but I'm pretty sure there are a lot of options. You can either cook it yourself or you can go to the auction house and buy some. Click on the recovery option when their stamina gets super low. It's a button in the upper right of the workers little tab, and right click on the food you want to force down their gullet. back to work, buddy. I don't know how this doesn't make all my workers like literally drunk off their ass 24/7. I've given my giant so many beers to restore his potato farming. Anyways, guys, that's pretty much it for workers. It's a cool little aspect of the game and a great thing to get going early on. So I hope it was helpful. Still trying to figure out where important resources are so I can start collecting them. Right now, I'm basically collecting potatoes so that I can make beer for my workers, so that I can keep collecting potatoes, which seems kind of pointless. But I'm leveling cooking and I'm figuring out the system, so whatever. I've got that going for me. I'll definitely need these guys for boat parts eventually, though. I need some birch timber. Need to look up those ingredients. I'm gonna make my boat. Leave in the comments what you're using your workers for, and like the video if you're thinking of getting Black Desert Online and you haven't already. Subscribe if this is the first time you stumbled across one of my videos, because there are other videos. I've got more, and I think you should watch all of them. You should probably just take a day off, do that all day. Anyways, I hope to see you guys back, and thanks for watching. Do I need a better like goodbye call sign thing? Good night, YouTubers. This is Hunt for Games, signing off.